Hello and welcome back to the first episode of 2026. The Ambassador Sports Network is back, baby, and boy am I hype. I'm your host, Dalito Kulameka.
I'm Shane Dunkley.
And I'm Joseph Morant.
And guys, it's a pretty special thing is coming up. Does anybody know what's coming up pretty soon? It's January. What's the date as we're recording this? Friday, January 9th?
Super Bowl?
No, not the Super Bowl.
Am I close?
I mean, no, not really. Joseph, any guesses?
Anniversary of the ASN?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. That was my second answer.
Oh, okay.
Was it really Shane?
Yeah, of course.
The ASN was started almost a year ago, about next week, January 19th. I believe that's next Sunday, I think. The ASN, that's when we started this all a year ago right here in this very studio, and we've grown so much. We started sophomore year. I'm a junior now, about to go into the second semester.
Right.
Joseph joined the team earlier this year in August. People don't know Joseph was low-key the blueprint for all of this.
No.
He wanted to do the broadcast journalism stuff before I came to Oakwood. But yeah, man, I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to be back from break, Get back. We got a lot to talk about.
Definitely a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not excited to be back from break. I'd rather be on an island somewhere sipping coladas, just like no care in the world. But I'm back in Huntsville, though, and, let's get this degree.
Hey.
And let's talk about Oakwood sports.
Yeah, man,
definitely.
because speaking of Oakwood sports, you already know, the volleyball season wrapped up. We're going to get an interview with Cameron Buckner next week on next week's episode. And now we're in basketball season. Men's and women's basketball, and our women's team is rolling right now. So we're going to start off with them. We got some baseball news later on, but that's not confirmed yet. So we're just going to sit here and focus on women's basketball and men's basketball. And later on in the episode, we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs, which teams we got the most faith in, which teams we got the least faith in. And then the national championship is coming up. And sadly, none of us have a dog in the fight. The Buckeyes didn't make it in. The Bulldogs didn't make it in. So we'll see who we're rooting for in the national championship. And without further ado, you ready, brothers?
Let's do it.
Born ready.
So let's get into some women's basketball. Oakwood Lady A's. Let's get into some Lady A's action. The Lady Ambassadors played 7 games over the break, and they won 4 of those 7 games. And they are now 9-5 on the season, a 6-0 record in conference play. And they are number 1 in the East Division in the HBCUAC conference. So the girls won again Thursday night, beating Rush College 83-60. So I'm pretty excited for what this team has going on. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But it looks to me like this is a complete team. The rotation looks nice. The roster is finally coming back into form, which we're going to touch on later. And something I cannot go without mentioning. Over the break, Washington Adventist University. You guys came into Oakwood and, Ashby Auditorium, you guys beat us. That was cool and all. But when we came down there to Washington Adventist, you know what we like to do? We're going to walk into your trap and take it over. And that's exactly what the Lady Ambassadors did. And the men's team won a nice complete sweep of you guys. So how do you guys like that? Y'all were doing a lot of talking on Instagram after the game.
It's crickets.
It's quiet now. We'll see you guys next year. But yes, talk to me, guys. What have you guys seen? The girls are 5-3 since November 30th. What have you guys seen? Joseph, talk to me.
I think the biggest thing that we've seen is that first, the recruiting genius that Coach Ronnie Abrams is. I mean, he's somehow figured out a way to get Nene, who's the best shooter in the conference. Last year, she was playing the point guard position for us. He found a way to get her off the ball so she can get a lot more threes up. She's shooting around 7-8 threes a game, which is incredible for us.
She shot 111 total threes on the season.
and what is she shooting, like 45, 50%?
She's shooting 41%, but the girl who is number 1, she's shooting about 45%. She's only shot 33 total threes. Come on. Tranisha Adams, best shooter in the conference.
Clear. And then the other thing that he's done, he's found a way to where we can win games without Sanai Keys having to average 20 points and 12 rebounds, because he surrounded her with weapons that she can use. 2 big things that I've been harping on since last semester. We have Kamaria Murray back, who's a star. She scored 20 points in 2 games that she's been back so far. Morgan Bone, her first game was Saturday night. She came and she helped us pull out a very close nail-biter win. We're coming off of a 2-week hiatus for the men's and girls teams, and we were able to win that game, so that was a big part. And then last night, the blowout. Shania Sanders. recruit that I actually watched last school year. I watched her come in and work out with the team. She looked great then. She was injured all last semester, but she came in, and last night she had 3 straight threes in the second half, with a part of that 17-0 run that we had. So I'm extremely excited about what I'm going to see for the girls basketball team. And then I honestly think this is our year. I wasn't so confident. I know that we can go deep in the playoffs, but I think that we actually might pull off winning the conference tournament and actually be a shoe-in to the overall NAIA tournament. So
that would be amazing. Shane, what? Shane?
Yeah, Joe, watching this team over the break, of course I was in the islands, but I have a phone, thankfully, and I get to watch highlights. So watching this team over break, they went 4-3 over the span of November, the end of November to January. But one of the things that I'm seeing from this team, especially from last night when they played Russ College, is just the physicality and just the dominance, and also the IQ, making that extra pass to shooters like Tranisha Adams and freshman Shania Sanders, who is literally a Tranisha Adams clone. And
I think she might have a little. No. I'm not going to disrespect Tranisha Adams like that. I just think Shania Sanders, her handle, it sounds crazy, but her handle just reminds me of like a Kyrie type of the way how she had the ball
that
on
little pool
on a string. You know what I'm saying? Like Tranisha Adams, she's the truth.
Best player in the conference.
But Shania Sanders, she just got
honestly,
that flash.
We might need to go a step further. I think Nene Adams might be the best women's Oakwood player ever. I mean, you got to remember, she scored 1,000 points over the break. We forgot about that. She has 1,000 career points now, and we have to give her flowers.
And that's where I have to emphasize. Tranisha Adams, Sanaya Keys, these are two of the best players in the conference, 1 and 2. We don't even have to really rank them. Those are equally the 2 best players in the conference. This Oakwood team has the potential to go on a run, and I expect them to be the favorite to win the NAIA conference and so on.
And yes, right before we switch over to the men's basketball and start of things, I just want to talk about, like how we said, they played Russ College Thursday night last week and dominated. And I want to, like Joe talked about it earlier, but the Lady A's were leading 40-35 with about 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Then they proceeded to go on a 17-0 run within the next 4 minutes, and it was a complete and utter show of flex domination. It was just something that I personally have not really seen with Oakwood basketball, to see the girls go on a 17-0 run. Patsy Johnson, Russ College guard. She was doing her thing in the first half, and she looked like, okay, she can keep them competitive. No. They honed down and shut them down, and that's a testament to the girls, their work ethic, what they've been putting in over the break, and also a testament to Coach Ronnie Abrams, like Joseph touched on, recruiting. 8 of these 12 girls on the roster have come in the past 2 years. Like Joe said, Kamaria Murray's back. Morgan Bone is back. Even Harmony Banks. I didn't even know she was playing for the team this year. She was on the volleyball team and transferred over. Shania Sanders was finally able to suit up. And then we're still missing other players like Jasmine Young. And then we're missing other players like Alicia Reza, who aren't back right now. But this team, when they're fully complete, the rotation looks beautiful. This team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. We can already see 6-0 in conference play. This is not a team that's going to go. This is the best Oakwood girls basketball team I've seen in my time here in the past couple of years in general.
Has to be ever. Yeah. Has to be.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Elisa, you just reminded me, this team, stick with me now, this team's the 2017 Warriors, the 65-17 Warriors. Because hear me out. The game was 40-35 late in the third quarter. And they went on a 17-0 run. That's not normal.
Yeah,
that's something.
The third quarter changed games.
Yeah, that's
those classic Golden State
That's
Warriors.
A Golden State.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, with a classic, side 36, and then you have Curry, and Klay Thompson, combining for 23s.
It's true, like you said, Shania Sanders hit 3 threes in that run.
And I think at some point I turned to Joe. Me and Joe were sitting together at the game. I turned to Joe, we literally hit 4 straight threes. Yeah. I think then Sanaya Keys hit a 3, or maybe it was a deep mid-range. Same thing.
No, it was a deep mid. It was a deep mid.
I was like,
she did hit that.
This is something. This is something to watch. And, this team's not only good but it's entertaining and exciting to watch. I genuinely enjoy going to Oakwood women basketball.
And to the Ambassador fans, the girls play right before the boys. It's just a little 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, show
girls
up.
play at 5, boys play at 7. The girls' team is doing something and you don't want it to go unnoticed because you guys better get right or you're going to get left. And that's all I got to say to wrap up the girls segment. But now we can transition over to the boys' team, who also played last night, and they were also playing Thursday night, and they were also playing a bunch of games over the break. And they went 2-4 over the break and currently have a record of 4-11 after Thursday's night's heartbreaking 61-60 loss to Russ College. But we're not going to talk about that loss in like a bad light. This men's basketball team has already matched their total wins with 4 wins at the halfway point. Last year, this time, they only had 1 win. They ended the season with 4 wins.
Yeah.
Now they have 4 wins, 4-11, and they're 2-2 in conference play. So, as we can see, this men's ambassador team is competitive way more than last year, and they're already light years ahead of where they were last year, and that's the type of improvement that we like to see from this team, especially a team with a bunch of new faces, a bunch of new pieces, still trying to get gelled together.
And to add on to that,
a
key thing to mention about that record, that 4-11 record, a lot of that is because we're playing those Division I opponents earlier on in the
like
first semester.
Tennessee State, Jacksonville State.
So we have like 5 or 6 losses that are
money games.
That are attributed to those games. But we're actually, 50% in the conference, I want to say?
2-2.
2-2 in the conference. So I think that's
2-3 after the loss to West College.
But I think that's the record that we should pay more closely attention to.
Yes.
So.
And when I look at that game from last night against Russ College, I have nothing bad to say about the Ambassadors. I look at a team that looked like they wanted it.
And no Jordan Bell.
No Jordan Bell. They're undermanned. They clawed from an 11-point deficit. To a very tall and athletic Russ College team. That's without their best player,
who averages 20 points on the year.
That's remarkable. Nothing short of remarkable. I have to shout out Chase Jackson, hit a tough and one in late in the second half.
Yes, and he helped propel that comeback, him and Jordan Hill.
Literally. And I have nothing bad to say about the Ambassadors. Truly heartbreaking stuff. And let me say this, right? When you're looking at the end of the game scenario, you need 2 shots to tie the game. 63-60, or I forgot.
It was 61-59.
Yeah, 61-59. You need 2 shots,
2 free throws,
2 free throws to tie the game. That's not easy.
It's not.
I was holding the camera and my hands were shaking. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine.
I know that's me. I'm missing both of them.
What Mr. Green was feeling at that moment. I probably would have airballed, right? So Mr. Green. Come on.
Don't do that.
I seen you play in the break, man. We were hooping together, man. Come on now. But back on topic, right? That's not an easy thing to do. So, Mr. Green, this loss is not on you. You made a lot of contributions to that 11-point comeback.
Yes,
literally. And that is not on you.
And yes, I would like to even say why it's not on you and it's on the team as a whole, because it wasn't just Jordan Green who missed a free throw. Like, yes, he missed the free throw to tie the game up, but with 0 seconds left on the clock, whole gym watching you, that's not a regular free throw. But ultimately, he's going to tell himself he should have made it, and that is true. But as a team, in crunch time, with about less than 2 minutes, from 2 minutes and 14 seconds to the rest of the game, the Ambassadors went 3 for 6 from the free throw line, and we lost by 1 point. So it's not just on Jordan Green in that last second to miss that free throw, but we have other players who went 1 for 2 at the line.
Not to mention Russ almost gave us the game by missing 2 in the bonus.
It's true. So it's like, as a team, when you go 3 for 6 in clutch, you can't just put it all on one player who missed the last free throw. You got to put it on everybody who went 1 for 2 at the line. And also, some things that maybe we can fix in conference play, and Jordan Bell obviously should help us get through these issues a little bit. But I don't think Jordan Bell's going to help us in the first half. We look like we couldn't break a press. Yeah. We couldn't break a full court press. There were a lot of turnovers, and we had 11 turnovers to Rush 3's turnover in that span in the first half. Now, we did cut down on that in the second half, which is why we were able to come back. We had 6 turnovers, and then we turned Russ over 14 times, I believe. So that was where you can see the in-game adjustments. But one thing I can't wrap my head around, and maybe you guys know more than me, Naftal Marara and Devontae Powell. In that first half, we were down. The game was getting away from us. And they came in late in the first half and combined for 11 points. and they didn't come off the bench in that second half. They provided a spark to help us get back into the game, and then we just went away from them in the second half.
The biggest thing about that is that Tamara actually scored the last 5 points in the half. A tough mid-range and a nice three-pointer. And didn't see the floor for the rest of the game.
And on a team that was struggling to find consistent offense in the half-court sets, Devontae Powell and Nat Tamara were able to provide that. So maybe you guys know more than me, but I just couldn't wrap my mind around why they didn't get back into the court.
I'm not completely sure about the rationale behind that. I mean, maybe they saw there was a lineup that they thought might have worked more. I still think that there's a way that you can incorporate those two players in the second half lineup because of what they were able to do in the first half.
And they don't need the ball too big an impact.
It's all about game flow type of scenarios like that. And we struggled early on. They brought us a spark. Second half, you kind of have to figure out a way for them to play some minutes because they could have contributed some points on the board. That game, one thing I actually thought about, with us having that shot clock issue early on, it's kind of ironic. We started down 1, we ended up losing the game 1 because we actually scored more points than Russ technically total in the game. But that's just something that just crossed my mind how ironic that would be.
And another thing that that I noticed from this Oakwood men's basketball team that really caught my attention was just the hesitation on shots, right? Mm-hmm. So you'll have a screen, dribble, pick and pop. They'll find open man, but what I saw last night was when they were wide open, they refused to shoot. They weren't confident in that first look. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, especially when you look at later in the game where we had a lot of guys like Green, just sparking threes, right? No hesitation, just putting it up.
And real quick to at least I'll add on to that. I think the reason why is because we've seen the 15-man rotation. Mm-hmm. And if you're playing 15 guys in a 40-minute period, all of those guys can't get all the same minutes. Right. So I think everybody's playing on the type of tight leash that they feel that if I miss the shot, if I do this type of mistake, everybody's overthinking that I'm coming out.
And
so
then you see things like Naptol and Devontae actually hitting shots, and I still don't play the rest of the second half.
So it's a mental battle.
It's some things that the coaches have to work out, and I'm hoping for the betterment of the team that they work out those issues because those boys can help contribute to wins. And the defense didn't look too bad to me at times. No. We won the rebound battle 45-40. Mm-hmm. I think if we can just knock down 8 threes a game. Is that too much to ask? 8 threes a game? So. We went 3 for 17 last night. We can knock down 8 threes a game. That's for sure going to improve this team. Jordan Bell comes back, and Jordan Bell's going to be needed in this next stretch because they have 6 upcoming conference games, including next week's 2 home game matchups versus Talladega, who they lost to by 7 in November, and Voorhees, who they already beat on the road. Now both of those teams come to Ashby Auditorium, and the ambassadors have a chance to make a statement in these next 6 upcoming conference games that they have on their schedule. And Ashby Auditorium, that was the loudest I heard it.
Oh, yeah.
That was the loudest I've heard it in my time here. It was rocking last night.
Definitely.
So shout out to the fans. Let's keep coming out. That was great seeing it our first home game back from break. And I'm really excited about the end of this basketball season for the boys and the girls. This is the first time I've had some real optimism.
Right.
That we're not just sitting here talking about, well, guys, looking forward to next year. We can recruit. Right. We can play hard. No. We're watching games and we're seeing wins. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, our teams can do something. So you guys need to tap in. We got a lot going on here at Oakwood University.
Of course.
And basketball teams, we believe in you guys. Keep up the hard work, and we'll see where that takes you. So now, we'll transition over to what y'all want to talk about first. And the college football playoffs or NFL? My vote's NFL.
My vote's NFL as well.
My vote is college football.
All right, you're just outraged. But we're going to welcome Jonathan Walden up here. He missed y'all too.
Walden.
And we're going to talk about the NFL playoffs and then give our quick college football predictions.
This next segment is a partnership with Howard University Radio, voices SiriusXM, Channel 141, as a part of the Lance J Radio Network.
For time purposes, we're not even going to get into the college football playoffs. We'll talk about that next week because we have the NFL playoffs, man. I love this time of year. I don't know about you guys. I just love when it's time to, rubber meets the road. Granted, my team is never in the dance. Them Raiders going #1 pick, baby, though. We got a whole rebuild. We're going to be there in a few years, but no. We're going to focus on the teams in the dance, and we're going to tell you our biggest contender, who we got the most faith in, and our biggest pretender, who we don't got the most faith in. Joseph, in honor of your team being the only one Chiefs fan here, He's not used to this, man. He's been coming to me for advice on how to deal with. What do you do when your team is not playing for anything, Lisa? Now, Lisa, what do you do? That's what he's been telling me off the air. So he's not used to this. Shane,
bro, my team. Bro, look, y'all acting like y'all didn't make the playoffs like 3 years ago. My team hasn't made the playoffs since I was in 7th grade, bro. I'm going into my senior year of college next year, bro.
it is true. So Shane,
like, come on.
you know, you're dealing with a lot of heartbreak. 28-3 still haunts your franchise. So Joseph, Steelers. You're not that better off either. Y'all go to the playoffs and lose. Y'all haven't won a game in about 10 years. But in honor of your team being in the playoffs, you want to start or do you want to delegate to somebody else?
I'm going to go ahead and start. I had to first acknowledge the fact that I had my back turned because I was repping
An overrated safety.
the greatest safety ever to play in the NFL, and that being Troy Polamalu. I remember us having a conversation about Week 1, and we were all talking about our playoff hopes and what we thought our team was going to do. I think it's very funny that I'm the only guy at this table who's actually in the playoffs. So you guys had the most to say about me. I'm very excited. Obviously, we're going to a Monday Night Football game against the Texans. We're actually 23-0 on Monday Night Football at home. So hopefully we can continue that streak. There's not a quarterback I trust in the AFC in the playoffs more than Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully we continue that streak going. We did skate.
Drake May.
We did get by barely against the Baltimore Ravens due to the missed field goal, but I don't think Boswell was supposed to miss an extra point. But whatever the case, we're in the playoffs. Two things I wanted to mention when it comes to that game against the Texans. Obviously that defense is for real. But the thing is, we're at home and it's cold up there. It's very hard to play that fast and play that hard when it's cold. I'm trusting that.
But when it's cold, them hits hurt a whole lot harder for how old is Aaron Rodgers? 42-year-old?
That is 100% true. But like I said, I don't trust any quarterback more than I do Aaron Rodgers. I'm confident in the Steelers' front seven. Remember, front seven. I don't know what our back line, the defense, Jalen Ramsey and those boys, they have to figure it out back there. But the Texans offense is not some amazing offense that we have to worry about.
Put some respect on playoff C.J. Stroud. They said the same thing about him with Herbert last year. 4 picks.
I think we still win that game. I think we're going to be able to pull that one off. As far as after that, how confident I am and us win the Super Bowl, I'm hopeful that we can get to the Super Bowl. How confident I am. I need to see, obviously, of course, I need to see us win that game Monday night, but I need to see in the fashion that we win that game will determine how confident I am that we go to the Super Bowl.
Okay, Jonathan. He just fanboyed up here, but it's all right. We'll let him do that because his team is the only one here. Jonathan, back to the topic. Biggest pretender, biggest contender.
Pretender, the Buffalo Bills. I don't want to hear this propaganda. Just because they lost not just because. They did lose 4 playoff games to the Kansas City Chiefs. And Lisa is up here believes that is the only reason Josh Allen won't touch a Super Bowl. I don't believe so. Drake May has proven that he is like that. Now, I've seen a lot on social media that they question Drake May and the Patriots wins because of who they won against. They probably won against 3 above 500 teams in that run of wins. But I think that they're running on the wave of winning. They've proven that they can play defense and go out there and be able to score the ball.
They lost to the first Steelers, by the way.
Whatever. They also, in the AFC, we also have the Broncos, a great defense, a dominant defense, and we have to see what Josh Allen can do against playoff teams like that and also the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I say all that to say I think that the Buffalo Bills are pretenders and the ultimate contenders, Los Angeles Rams, man. I don't have to say too much. Matthew Stafford has proven with a Super Bowl under his belt that he's been in this experience before. He's been in this field before. They've gotten a little sloppy in the last end of the season, but I think they'll clean it up and be able to contend for that Super Bowl and ultimately win.
Shane Dunkley, real quick, and then I'll close us off.
Real quick, I got to go with the New England Patriots as my contenders. When you look at the NFL, what wins the Super Bowl 8 times out of 10 is coaching. You're not going to luck out and win a Super Bowl unless you're the Pittsburgh Steelers or something like that, right? You're not going to luck out and win the Super Bowl.
I guess we lucked out for 6.
Okay. Coach Vrabel, those 70s rings, I don't respect it. Coach Vrabel is the best coach in the NFL as of now. He's the coach of the year. He has an MVP quarterback in Drake May, which this is his 2nd year in the NFL. That's remarkable. And I just trust Vrabel. I trust Drake May. Everything about New England is just trustworthy. and I have them going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl.
I guess you would know that everything in New England is trustworthy due to that.
Exactly. I got the ultimate proof, right?
Hey, your biggest pretender.
Biggest pretender,
Real quick.
Seattle Seahawks. Sorry, cuz.
Yes.
Sorry, Mike.
Yes.
The Seattle Seahawks are like, look.
Forgot about the Seahawks.
All I gotta say is Sam Darnold. I don't respect anybody with Sam Darnold.
And look, I won't even let you get into too much explanation because I'll back you up on that.
Of course.
My biggest pretender is also the Seattle Seahawks. That defense is legit. JSN went to OSU, wide receiver U, so I have no reason but to root for the Seahawks. But Sam Darnold, you know, you played pretty well this regular season. Now it's time where the rubber meets the road. Sam Darnold, I've seen you choke in a lot of big spots. Are you going to put those playoff and choke demons behind you, or are you going to be able to overcome that and propel Seattle to the Super Bowl and win? I'm taking the latter, and I don't think he's going to.
And
be able
these
to
guys are
overcome
taking the high statistical role with Sam Darnold. Hold on, let me cut you off. I don't care. I'm going off straight hate. My friends are Seahawks fans, and I do not want to see y'all win. Mike 336. I'm not hearing none of that Seahawks propaganda. I'm tired of seeing the Seahawks, bro. I'm not hearing that. That's it. Go
I think
ahead.
I'm gonna get hop on the hate train of Philly.
And then to close off the episode, my biggest pretender, Josh Allen. My biggest contender, Josh Allen.
You were like the first time. You were like the first time.
We heard
My biggest contender.
Here we go. This is
Josh
like the
Allen.
fourth year,
Definitely
y'all.
a part
Josh Allen. That's all I have to say. Biggest contender, Josh Allen, and the Bills gonna go all the way. This is his year to win a Super Bowl. My reasoning why, the team is not that strong. Running game is pretty nice. But Josh Allen is Superman.
Yeah, and I agree with Lisa. Josh Allen and the Bills. This is y'all's year to lose. Like, I mean, not y'all's year to lose, but this is win y'all's year to win. Now, if y'all lose, now we have to really question what's going on in the organization with the quarterback, whatever the case may be, because the Chiefs have held y'all's number for the past 4 years. There's no excuse. Drake May, I want to see Drake May win. I have the Drake May versus Stafford Super Bowl. I hope that happens. That was just like Tom Brady and Aaron Donald Super Bowl. Hopefully it's not a snooze fest, but we're going to see what this postseason holds in store for us.
Yes, we'll see. And as Shane always says, I had some fun. First episode back in here. It was a great time out here. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Beer too.
Thank you for watching the Ambassador Sports Network. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tap that bell so you're notified every time we post.